I've probably have made the most useless video I've ever made, or the biggest helping hand I've ever done to an indie game community, and that is the Rain World community. If you guys don't know this, which is okay, I had a bit of a fair share of a controversy that I had with the Rain World community. I made a video titled Why I Hate Rain World. Long story short, my game crashed, and overall the difficulty was just a bunch of BS, if that makes sense, which led to a bunch of the Rain World fans having a bit of a all-out war in my comment section. I responded to the comment section with like a half-assed apology in my second video, and then my last video was basically me admitting my faults. I didn't use the I am a human or everybody makes mistakes statement because it doesn't feel needed. It feels very vague. I was true to the heart, stuck straight to the point, and admitted I was wrong for making those videos. They're still up, by the way. So then I had this one comment which started this whole video idea of someone telling me that there is a 96-page Rain World movement document that the fans made to help the new players or the noobs to play Rain World. And then I'm thinking to myself, do I really have to read a 96-page document to understand how to play Rain World? And the answer is no, but I did anyway. I only did this out of boredom and for content purposes. If you guys want to attempt to read the whole Rain World document, there is a total of 124 pages in that document. Good luck on that. It took me 4 days to do it because of sun breaks and all, and the power went out in my hometown, which is another leading cause. And you get tired from reading a lot, so of course you have to take some breaks for yourself. And to answer your question, when will I come back to Rain World? And the answer is I might come back to playing this game, but I'm gonna have to, settle down. I need to like patiently wait, or just, mentally prepare myself to fully commit to this. With all that being said, enjoy the video. Rain World Movement Guide. This is a comprehensive guide to movement in Rain World, covering everything from beginner moves to advanced speedrunning techniques and combat. Please note that this guide was primarily written with keyboard controls in mind. The inputs shown here are still applicable for controllers, but a few moves which require very rapid directional input changes might be a lot more difficult / less reliable. Using D-pad might be easier for some of these moves. Ball moves are still possible with analog stick. Warehouse and Nest are great sandbox maps for movement practice to discuss and share tech or get further advice and help. Check out the hashtag movement channel in the Rain World Discord. This guide is written for vanilla Rain World and does not cover the Downpour DLC, which is a fan-made expansion. This guide was last updated on March 31st, 2022. Recently added wall pouncing, cut content, ease of use tips, use control plus F to search for moves, and there it is. We also recommend that you turn off print layout to remove page breaks and shorten the guide. Check out recommendations if you're looking for some useful moves to start with at any level. A change log and future sections list can be seen below the index. This guide priorities naming consistency. Use the glossary to find alternative tech names. Middle click hyperlinks to open in a new tab and avoid losing your place. Mild spoiler warnings towards the end of the combat section, IC spoilers, and preceding section, SL spoilers. I don't know what those mean. Difficulty guide, beginner, useful in a first playthrough, simple execution, rubble / spear. Intermediate, useful for players who feel confident with basic movement, slide pounce. Adept, worth learning for a second playthrough or a hunter run down throw. Advanced, for speedrunning and advanced play, slide flip pin. I can't read. Academic niche tech for those interested in experimentation, then boosted slide pounce. External links, official Discord server, companion video guide, ICED's Rain World Exploits and Glitches Guide, Major Spoilers, Official Rain World Wiki, Contents, Recommendations 3, Basic Moves 4, Jumping 4, Item Management 9, Charge Pouncing 10, Turning around 13, tunnels 14, mobility in tunnels 14, tunnel boosting 14, slides 16, basic slide 16, slide pouncing 18, slide flipping 20, extended sliding 22, rolls 25, roll from falling 25, fast rolling 25, chaining from moves 26, roll pouncing 27, fast fall rolling 31, tumble rolling 34, poles 36, vertical pole movement 36, pole momentum 41, horizontal pole movement 42, turns 45, dash turns 45, storing turns 46, basic applications 49, tours stored slide pouncing 50. Turn stored slide pouncing 53, turn stored slide flipping 54, turn stored extended sliding 57, crawl turns 59, swimming spoiler 64, boosting 64, water hopping 66, there's water hopping, combat 67, throwing weapons 67, slide spearing 73, downward upward throwing 76, creature strategy minor spoiler 78, other 80, cut content 80, unexplored moves 82, credits 83, GIF archive 85, index 85, glossary 91, pending 92, changelog 92. Recommendations: here are a few basic essential moves for players of all skill levels unsure where to start. Beginner, pulling onto ledge, taught in the tutorial, really important for climbing. Wall jumping, essential for mid-game areas. Swapping hands, choose what to throw first. Throwing boosting, throw boosting, effectively gives you a better jump. Basic tunnel mobility, escape from lizards in tunnels. Rubble slash spear combo, simple and effective defense strategy. Intermediate, optimal throw boosting, cross large gaps with ease. Slides, important to start practicing, key to unlocking faster movement over time. Roll, survive falls and keep moving. Landing from pounces, jump to keep moving. Adept, fast pole climbing, go up poles quickly, invaluable tech. Crouch mouth spear, slide spearing, take on lizards with a single spear. Extended sliding, go really fast on flat surfaces. Slide flipping, once consistent, try this. Advanced, crawl turn jump, gain extra height from jump. Back pole jump, saves time in some parts of the game, extra height from poles. Down throwing from slide flips, essential offensive move for getting the drop on lizards. Basic moves: jumping, pulling up onto ledge. When hitting a wall just below a ledge, holding forward and pressing jump allows Slugcat to climb up. Note that pressing against walls gives Slugcat friction, and so jumping towards the ledge is best to gain maximum height. Wall jumping, Slugcat will slide down walls when holding into the wall. Wall jumping is performed by pressing jump while sliding down a wall, holding into the wall, immediately switching holding direction to the other wall, and tapping jump as soon as Slugcat comes into contact with that wall. Note, it's important to switch holding direction as soon as possible after jumping. The aim is to jump as soon as possible while holding into the wall to minimize height loss to sliding. Then immediately hold away from the wall to minimize negative aerial drift. Coyote jump. It is still possible to jump a few frames after running off a ledge. This can be used to maximize horizontal jump distance or safeguard against tight jumps. Coyote jump definition. Pole coyote jump. This can also be done off of poles. Extended coyote jump. Extending coyote jumps off ledges is possible by crouching while running off, then tapping up and jump simultaneously. Grounded wall hop, hugging a wall, then simultaneously tapping outwards plus double tap jump allows Slugcat to jump twice. Jump needs to be double tapped quickly as the window is quite short. Aerial wall hop, while sliding down a wall, holding out then pressing jump allows Slugcat to hop mid-air for a short window of time. This only works when holding away from the wall. Note, this is likely a leniency slash coyote mechanic for pressing outwards or for pressing jump while wall jumping. This works even when only a small part of Slugcat's body brushes against the wall, as this counts as being in the sliding state. Application for wall jumping. This allows for wall jumping up shafts where Slugcat's head initially only brushes against the opposite wall. Item management. Right hand usage. If holding items in both hands, Slugcat will always throw or use the item in its right hand. Swapping hands. Double tapping grab causes Slugcat to swap the items in his hands, dropping items. Tapping grab while holding down will drop a held item. Storing items. Holding grab while holding a small inedible item in Slugcat's main hand causes it to store the item in its stomach. Doing the same again will recover the item. Charge hopping. Charge hopping. Entering the crouching position and holding jump until Slugcat's back is arched. Then releasing allows for a charge hop. For almost all jumps, Slugcat is subject to aerial drift, and so holding forward allows the player to maximize Slugcat's horizontal range whenever hopping or pouncing. Note, in this GIF, forward is held immediately after Slugcat's back is arched. This is useful to avoid accidentally pressing forward too soon and running off the ledge. Crouching to safely position on edges. This GIF shows the farthest Slugcat can extend over a ledge while crouched, useful for maximizing charge pounce distance. Landing upright out of charge pounce. Tapping up immediately after charge pouncing puts Slugcat in an upright position, giving it more height. This can help grab ledges upon landing. Ceiling pounce. When holding forwards and pouncing into a slab ceiling, Slugcat will slide down until up is pressed. This tech has no application in the base game. Throw boosting, throwing rocks or spears during a jump or pounce increases horizontal velocity, allowing Slugcat to travel further than normal jumps and pounces. This is most effective when done at the start of a jump. Note, throw boosting can be used at the start of any aerial move to increase speed range. Optimal throw boosting. This can be done with two objects to further increase speed, optimally either of a charge pounce or max length pole pounce, explained later in guide. Turning around, backflipping. Backflips are performed by jumping immediately after turning around. Note that the right words pressed near the end of the move is only to prevent Slugcat from falling off the platform. Turn hopping. Turn hopping involves repeatedly jumping after turning to conserve turn momentum and cover ground quickly. Momentum covered this way only depletes when in contact with the ground, so will last longer with more precise and better timed jumps. Tunnels. Mobility in tunnels. Turning around. It is possible to turn around inside tunnels by holding in the opposite direction and pressing jump. This is possible in vertical tunnels as well, but only turning upwards due to free falling. Free falling. It is possible to fall vertically inside tunnels by holding down and pressing jump. This works whether Slugcat is facing forwards or backwards. Tunnel boosting. Boost and lag. Boost inside tunnels can be performed by pressing jump. This gives a short burst of speed with ending lag. This ending lag makes the boost slow Slugcat down overall unless this lag is cancelled. Canceling boost and lag. Boost ending lag is cancelled by boosting into a room pipe, a shortcut, or into open space. This can be combined with jumps to exit tunnels at running speed. Boosting out of shortcuts / room pipes. Pressing jump when exiting tunnels and pipes gives a burst of speed which represents Slugcat kicking off the wall behind it. This can be combined with jumps to exit tunnels at running speed. Boosting out of shortcuts / room pipes and tunnels. The same can be done in tunnels. Boost around tunnel corners. Pressing jump and holding forwards when rounding a corner also gives a boost, as with boosting out of shortcuts and room pipes. Just like kicking off a wall behind you. This can also be done around T-junctions, as long as there is ground behind Slugcat's feet. Slides. Basic slides. Slides can be performed by pressing down and jump together while moving. A specific sound can be heard when performing a slide. Pressing jump too late will cancel the slide and cause a stumble. Not holding forward long enough results in a shorter slide which cannot be jumped or flipped out of. Sliding into a pipe. This is a more effective way to enter ground level pipes. This can also be done with regular tunnels. Sliding into a tunnel, tapping down directly over a tunnel mid-slide allows for quickly entering said tunnel. This also works with shortcuts and root pipes in the ground. Slide into tunnel boost. Sliding into a tunnel can be combined with a tunnel boost to gain extra speed on exit. Slide parkour. Press and jump while sliding into a short wall allows Slugcat to slide up and over the ledge while in a crouched state. This can be used in conjunction with jumping to traverse rough terrain. Slide pouncing. Basic slide pounce. Jumping mid-slide results in a long pounce. This is called a rocket jump in the code. Pressing the second jump too early or late results in a smaller pounce. Landing upright from pounce. This is not possible to change to an upright state mid-pounce, and so unless able to roll, Slugcat will always find in a crouched state which slows the players down. This can be avoided by pressing jump on landing to enter a temporary upright state and then pressing up to switch to standing. This also conserves momentum, which is extremely useful for exiting all pounces and roll chains. Instant slide pounce. Normally only useful / applicable with tool assisted inputs, macros, or keybinds. Slugcat can pounce in the first frame of a slide. This can be done with the following inputs. Each line below represents one frame and down, forward, and jump abbreviated, even though we can't see it. This is practically achievable in-game by slowing down time, e.g. with mushrooms, as shown in the GIF below, even though we can't see it. It can also be done without slowdown, which is less practical due to difficulty in pressing a key twice in 3 frames. Note, this is specifically useful for speedruns in-game here, as shown here. Major ending spoilers. Additionally, the cleanest input sequence from this move is J, and there it is. The extra forward and down inputs are included for ease of learning. Releasing down on the 3rd frame isn't necessary, and with perfect inputs, the move can be done from standing. landing. Instant slide pounce height can be increased with prior horizontal momentum from either turning or jumping. Slide flipping. Basic slide flip, pressing jump while holding backwards mid-slide results in a long backflip. This is called whiplash in the code, okay? Note to slide flip correctly, forward must be released and backwards held before jump is pressed. The jump window is the same as for slide pouncing. Pressing jump and back too early results in a regular failed slide pounce due to the shorter slide. Forward must be held long enough for a regular slide to slide flip. Slide flip pickup. Slide flipping at the same point as an item will auto pick up that item. Instant slide flip. Normally only useful / applicable with tool-assisted inputs, macros, and keybinds. Slugcat can perform a slide flip on the first frame of a slide. This can be done with the following inputs. Each line below represents one frame of action, and down, forward, jump, and backwards are all abbreviated. This is practically achievable in-game by slowing down time, e.g. with mushrooms, as shown in the GIF below. Or without any slowdown, the inputs are more demanding than instant pouncing, which makes this less practical overall, but still achievable. Note, the cleanest input sequence from this move is J, and there's the inputs, even though you can't read them. The extra forward, down, and backwards inputs are included for ease of learning. Holding the frame for one frame only isn't necessary, and with perfect inputs the move can be done from standing. Extended sliding. This can be done by throwing an item backwards mid-slide and greatly increases distance traveled as with regular slides. Holding forward is needed to get a full-length slide. Extended slide hopping. By holding forwards and repeatedly hopping after an extended slide, momentum can be conserved for a long distance. Similarly to turn hopping, explained later in a guide, this is unique to extended slides as they eject the Slugcat into a standing position unlike regular slides. Extended slide backflip. Backflipping out of an extended slide can be done by holding back and pressing jump at the end of the slide. As with extended slide hopping, this works because this extended slide ejects Slugcat into the upright state. This only works if the slide was entered into after running for some time due to run storage. Extended slide pounce. It is possible to pounce out of an extended slide. This requires holding forward significantly longer than normal, as the extended slide needs to also be extended to full length. It is also possible to slide flip out of extended slides, like extended slide pouncing. This requires holding forward significantly longer, as the extended slide needs to also be extended to full length. Remember that you can land upright from pounces and conserve momentum by tapping jump on landing, then up. Extended instant hop, an extremely useful tool for quickly traveling horizontal distance and crossing wide gaps. This move is performed by starting an extended slide, pressing jump one frame later, and then holding forwards for optimal speed. Forwards must be pressed and held within a few frames of the jump input. This move can be performed during any frame in which slide extension is possible. Extended instant pounce. A similarly performed variant of the extended instant pounce. This move is performed by starting an extended slide and pressing jump on the same frame, then jumping forward exactly one frame later. The forward input must be within one frame of the jump input, otherwise a slide flip will be performed instead. This move can only be performed when started on one of the last two possible frames of a slide in which slide extension is possible. This move can be rolled out of like any other pounce and travels further than regular slide pouncing. Extended instant crouch hop, the fastest known horizontal move to date, performed by starting an extended slide, pressing jump, and holding forwards one frame later, and then pressing down one frame after that. For optimal distance, forwards must be pressed and held on the same frame as the jump input. This move can be performed during any frame in which slide extension is possible. Den boost, holding down and pressing jump over a den mid-slide launches Slugcat upwards in the example below, even though we can't see it. The wall directly next to the den makes entering it via slide reliable. This move is a lot less reliable when attempting to enter dens without a wall next to them. Smaller boosts out of dens can also be applicable for gaining height in combat on a case-to-case basis. Rolls, rolling from falling, holding down and left/right when falling from a height greater than a normal jump, a height of about 4 tiles, will send Slugcat into a roll. This will negate landing stun when falling long distances. Fast rolling, exclusively possible with analog sticks. Faster roll speed can be achieved by angling the analog stick more closely to the horizontal axis above. Fast rolls can only be changed into normal rolls and moving back to the full. Angle mid-roll slows the roll to normal speed. This can also be done with a virtual controller program on PC. Note that when using input display, the input will not be visible during a fast roll. Additionally, this allows Slugcat to pick items during the roll rather than dropping items down plus grab. Fast roll angle. It is possible to fast roll after a full jump from a single tile height by angling the analog stick slightly sub-horizontally mid-air. This is only possible with a controller/virtual analog stick. Chaining from moves. It is possible to roll in either direction upon landing from flips, pounces, and bounces explained later in guide by holding left/right and down. Rolls can be entered from rolling from backflips, rolling from side flips, roll pouncing. Roll pouncing. Pouncing can be done by jumping out of a roll. Rolls can be chained together indefinitely on flat ground by pouncing as late as possible. This can be done regardless of which way Slugcat is landing as long as the pounce was initiated late enough. The longer the roll, the higher the pounce are. Tapping jump while holding down and left/right will pounce instantly without rolling at all. A rapid series of beats can be heard when rolling, one initial on beginning the roll, then 4 more in total. These can be used to time pounces. Remember that you can land upright from pounces and conserve momentum by tapping jump on landing, then up. Flat ground movement, a speed comparison of different forms of movement across flat ground. From top to bottom, running, backflip to roll chaining, turn hopping, slide pounce to roll chaining, extended slide hopping, and extended slide pounce. It's worth noting that both turn hopping and backflip roll chaining require setup before moving forwards, which has been included here. Turn hopping is most effective when turning to move in the opposite direction as the setup is then very small. Backflip roll chaining is most effective when using the pounce to cross gaps without space for a slide pounce. Sliding out of rolls. It is possible to slide immediately after a roll by holding forwards and down and timing jump at the very end of the roll when Slugcat is in the upright position. Rolling up single tile heights. Rolls are not interrupted by single tile blocks, allowing for rolling over more uneven terrain. Fast fall rolling. Dropping off ledges. Pressing down while running off ledges causes Slugcat to enter a fast fall state. This state allows for rolls from any height. Rapidly turning back, then forwards before dropping off the ledge extends this drop window. Dropping down a tile while running forwards towards a single tile drop, holding down with correct timing causes Slugcat to enter a roll. This is due to the aforementioned fast fall mechanic where pressing down while dropping off ledges gives a boost of acceleration. The same can be done with the turning method shown above for slightly more reliable timing. Ledge hang and fast falling. Releasing all control for a short frame window while pulling up on ledges leaves Slugcat in a definite hanging state. Achieving this pause state is not necessary for fast falling, and the hanging state itself currently has little use and no reliable setup. While pulling up ledges, pressing in the opposite direction causes Slugcat to fall down at an accelerated rate. Fast falling causes landing stun and, for longer falls, death at much shorter heights. Entering the fast fall state guarantees that a roll can be performed on landing. Fast falling can be done from any height, including one tile height drops. This allows any tile height block to be used for initiating rolls. Tumble rolling. By positioning to hit the ground head first, tumbling, a roll state can be achieved through minimal setup. Storing up input. By holding upwards, Slugcat leans forward while running, causing mid-air rotation when correctly interrupted with a jump. This allows for a roll on landing. Storing down input. This leaning angle can also be achieved by holding down such that poles don't interrupt the move, so long as that input doesn't result in a crouch. This can be done in the following ways. Holding down during a backflip, holding down while jumping off a vertical pole, sliding down a vertical pole onto the ground while holding down, ending extended slide, holding down while wall jumping. Rolling from crouching. Slugcat can roll from crouching by turning in one direction then another, while holding down from immediately after the second turn onwards. Note, the most consistent strategy for this move is to begin to press down halfway through the second flop as seen in the next 2 GIFs. It is also possible to roll from crouch by first running in one direction and quickly tapping crouch, then holding down the opposite direction and holding down crouch again. Note, this method can be easier to learn initially but requires accounting for the necessary setup movement pre-roll. Immediate pole pounce. By initiating a roll from crouch but jumping immediately after holding down, Slugcat can pounce immediately before the roll takes place. Stumble roll. It is also possible to start a roll by tapping jump multiple times while running and holding down. A minimum of 2 jumps taps are needed, but more can be used. Limited application as more consistent options exist for roll starting. Pulls. Vertical pole movement. Boost and lag. Pressing up plus jump while on a pole gives a short upward boost, the ending lag of which can be cancelled by entering room pipe shortcuts or jumping off the pole. Boosting to top. Boosting to the top of a pole cancels boost and lag and switches Slugcat to the bouncing position immediately. Landing on pole tip. Pressing up when coming into contact with the tip of the vertical pole will cause Slugcat to instantly perch on it. This only works for reasonably small vertical speeds. Bouncing on pole tips. When midair, tapping up at the tip of a pole allows Slugcat to instantly balance there. This can also be done further down from the tip, likely as an unintended result of pole collision. Canceling jump. It is also possible to cancel boost and lag by holding outwards and jumping off the pole mid-boost. Pole wall jumping. Wall jumping while holding up allows for climbing tall poles in shafts far quicker than regular climbing. Hybrid boost jumping. Boost ending lag can be canceled by either reaching the start of a tunnel or pipe or by jumping off the pole. Both this and pole wall jumping are only applicable in narrow shafts. Pole regrab. Switching to the other side of a pole while also tapping jump causes Slugcat to let go of and instantly regrab the pole in a couple of frames. While not useful on its own, this can be used to cancel boost and lag as described below. Fast pole climbing. Boosting up a pole then immediately re-grabbing resets boost lag and immediately allows for another boost. This can be done repeatedly in a rhythm to quickly climb up poles, alternating sides each boost. Pressing jump too early will cause a laggy boost, and switching sides too early will cause Slugcat to jump off the pole. Unlike other pole climbing methods, this is applicable on all poles and vastly increases climbing speed, allowing Slugcat to outrun fast pole climbing lizards. Note, this can be done in a slower sequence or as a single instance for practice. The end of this move is the pole regrab to boost and lag cancel. Dropping down poles. Pressing jump while holding down instead of jump in isolation allows for falling directly downwards from vertical poles instead of drifting to one side. Vertical pole movement. A speed comparison of different forms of movement of poles from left to right, regular climbing, pole wall jumping, hybrid wall jumping, and fast pole climbing. It's worth noting that pole wall jumping and hybrid wall jumping are only effective in tall shafts. Note, the speed universally and relative simplicity of fast pole climbing makes it invaluable as part of any advanced player's toolset. Pole momentum. Backflip pole momentum. Backflipping onto poles gives an upward boost which can be paired with a pole boost, jump plus up while on poles to gain height quickly from the ground. Backflip pole jump. This is done first by holding back and then tapping jump and holding up to initiate a backflip. Once Slugcat has grabbed the pole, tapping jump again while still holding up adds the momentum of a pole boost to the existing momentum of the backflip, causing Slugcat to slide off the top of the pole. Jump can then be tapped again to perform a regular jump mid-air. For practical application, jump is quickly tapped 3 times in succession while holding up. The initial turn to initiate a backflip must be done before jump and up are simultaneously pressed. For ease of use, jump can be effectively tapped more than 3 times with no effect, as in the GIF below. Note, see crawl turn backflip pole jump for a 10 tile high version. Slide pole jump. Sufficient pole momentum for a mid-air jump can also be gained via a slide, most effectively on 2 tile high poles. This can be performed by holding up mid-slide to transition to the pole, tapping jump once to boost upwards, and then tapping jump mid-air. Note, see slide pole backflip for an additional variant which currently has no known benefit over this version. As shown here, slide pole jumps are effective gaining height from 2 tile high poles, regular backflips pole jumps for gaining height from 2 and 4 tile high poles, and crawl turn backflip pole jumps for 5 tile high poles. Horizontal pole movement. Jump pull up along a pole. Pressing jump plus forward mid pull up propels Slugcat forward, which is useful for long stretches of pole. Jump pole hopping. Pole hopping is done by jumping, holding forward, and tapping jump while hitting the pole. Note, the timing can be tricky. Remember not to press jump too early. This will also not work if holding any other button except forward when pressing jump. It is also possible to pole hop while rising up through a pole from below. Pounce pole hopping. To pole hop from pounce, release and enter the upright position in mid-air by immediately pressing up, then let go of up and jump in time to hop. This is significantly faster than jump pole hopping. Note, throw boosting can be used for longer pole hops. Fast pole crawling. While hanging on a horizontal pole and moving forwards, quickly alternating down and up causes Slugcat to drop from the pole and immediately regrab, giving a burst of speed. This can be chained to move quickly across horizontal poles while hanging. Horizontal pole movement. A speed comparison of different forms of movement along poles, from top to bottom, walking on pole, jump pull-ups, jump pole hopping, and pounce pole hopping. Jump pole hopping and especially pounce pole hopping have tight tight input windows, so using them over death pits or large falls isn't advised without a lot of practice. Note, jump pull hops can be attempted mid-jump pull-up with less risk, as long as you're pressing up immediately after tapping jump to grab in case of failure. Turns, dash turns, turning around. Turns can be performed by reversing movement direction while running at full speed. A successful turn can be identified by a sound cue, the small droplets seen above, and a short burst of speed into the turning direction. Backflipping. Backflips are possible as a result of dash turns and can be done without droplets showing. Turn hopping. Turn hopping involves repeatedly jumping after turning to conserve dash turn speed. Momentum conserved this way only depletes within contact with the ground, so will last longer with more precise and better timed jumps. Storing turns. A dash turns depletes over time for 10 frames. The functionality of a dash turn can be stored by interrupting the turn with other moves during these frames. More applicable turn storage derives from crouching or sliding. Crouching. The first method of storing a dash turn is to start a turn, then immediately interrupted by crouching. This momentum is then released when Slugcat once again enters the upright position, which can be seen by the small droplets and burst of speed gained when standing up. Crouching pull grab. Another simple way to demonstrate dash turn storage is to jump while standing on a horizontal pull or the tip of a vertical one. This results in a backflip. Note that simply grabbing a vertical pull from crouch often depletes all valuable frames of turn storage due to the temporary standing state. This can be avoided by crouch jumping onto the pull. Crouch backflip. Backflipping from a turn stored crouch is done by pressing up and jump simultaneously while holding in the direction of the turn. Note that the original turn direction must be held in order to backflip even after changing crouching direction. Turn storage is only ever lost by being in a standing state or initiating a backflip. Consequently, stored turns are maintained through jumping between vertical pulls or dropping down from horizontal ones, pulling up on a ledge, holding down to retain crouch, entering / exiting tunnels as long as always crouching, entering room pipes / shortcuts as long as always crouching, jumping while crouched, performing a small crouching hop, slide parkour up walls, turning over while crouched. Original turn direction is immutable and important to keep in mind for several moves. Stun, including explosions. Sliding. As sliding involves crouching, turns can also be stored by sliding immediately after turning around. As before, the burst of speed and droplets on standing upright indicate successful turn storage. I can proudly say that I'm currently halfway in. Sliding pole grab. Note that sliding pole grabs does not have the same frame depletion issue as crouching pole grab. Turning pole grab. The second method of turning storage is done with poles exclusively by pressing up to grab the pole immediately after turning. The window for this is very narrow before the turn appears to have started. Unlike crouching, this does not have any further applications. Turning ledge fall. The third method of turning storage is done by turning when running off a ledge, which interrupts the turn. Holding outwards isn't necessary to store the turn but slightly extends the window. Basic applications. Turn hopping. The speed burst from releasing turn storage by standing from crouch can be prolonged by jumping as with a normal turn. Backflip pull coyote jump. When backflipping off of poles, coyote jumping gives greater horizontal distance. Turn directionality. Note that turn directionality affects backup rotation. As shown here, backflipping in the direction of the turn gives a lot more horizontal distance. Turn stored ledge climb. It is possible to easily scale 5-tile high ledges by backflipping while pressed against them. Turn storage can be used to easily achieve this from an embodied spear. Note that for this method, forward turning backflips do not always require a jump to pull up onto the ledge, while backwards turning jumps do. The end result is the same either way. Slide pole backflip. Perform identically to slide pole jumping with a turn stored slide beforehand. This can be at maximum be used to reach a vertical pull 8 tiles in the air. Slide backflipping. The same inputs apply for backflipping from a slide as they do for crouching. Failed slides can be backflipped out of as well, which ensures against failure. Hang and backflip. With turn storage, tap up and jump at the same time while hanging from the pole base. Tight timing and as of yet limited applications. Turn storage slide pouncing. Turn storage slide pounce to pull. Turn storage is conserved through pouncing and so backflips off poles. Both vertical and horizontal are possible after turnaround slide pounces. Turnaround slide slide, pounce. Turn, store, slide, pounce, backflip. Turn around, slide, pounce. Turn, store, backflip. Turn, store, slide, pounce, backflip, roll, pounce. Turn around, slide, pounce. Turn, store, backflip, roll, pounce. Turn, store, slide, pounce, roll, pounce, backflip, roll, pounce. Turn around, slide, pounce, roll, pounce. Turn, store, backflip, roll, pounce. Note, you can roll from all backflips regularly and turn stored. Remember that you can infinitely chain roll pounces together. Backflip out of slide, pounce, roll. It is possible to backflip out of a turn, stored, roll by holding in the original turn direction and pressing up plus jump simultaneously. Turn, store, slide, flipping. Turn, store, slide, flip to pull. Slide flipping can also store turns, although this is harder to determine as look at land standing up. Landing on a pull horizontal or vertical after turn around slide flipping allows for a backflip. Turn around slide, flip. Turn, store, slide, bounce. This can be done by holding inward and pressing jump when hitting the ground. Turn around slide, flip, turn, stored, bounce. Note this has a set trajectory unlike pounces and backflips. Turn, store, slide, flip, backflip. This can also be done by holding up and pressing jump when hitting the ground. Turn around slide, flip, turn, stored, backflip. Turn, store, slide, flip, bounce, roll, pounce. As with most advanced moves, these can be chained together into much longer sequences. Turn around slide, flip, turn, stored, bounce, roll, pounce. Turn, slide, flip, back, roll, pounce. Turn around slide, flip, turn, stored, backflip, roll, pounce. Remember that for any pounce out of roll where another roll isn't desired, you can land in the upright position instead of crouching and maintain forward momentum by tapping jump and then up immediately afterwards. See the slide pouncing section for more details plus GIF. Not that the original turn direction still needs to be held in order to backflip. This is worth bearing in mind for slide flips due to their built-in direction change. Turn, stored, extended sliding. Turn storage is also possible with extended slides. For these GIFs, combos with slide pounces have been omitted of the essential similarity. Turn, stored, extended slide hopping. As hopping after a regular extended slide provides as much speed as turn, stored hopping, it currently appears that turn, stored, extended slide hopping has no additional impact on speed. Turn, stored, extended slide, flip, bounce. Turn around slide, extended slide, flip, turn, stored, bounce. Turn, stored, extended slide, flip, backflip. Turn around slide, extended slide, flip, turn, stored, backflip. Turn, stored, extended slide, flip, bounce, roll, pounce. Turn around slide, extended slide, flip, turn, stored, bounce, roll, pounce. Turn, stored, extended slide, flip, backflip, roll, pounce. Turn around slide, extended slide, flip, turn, stored, backflip, roll, pounce. Crawl turns. Crawl turn in-game motion debug default crawl turn is part of a series of states that occur when Slugcat is crouching and turns around. This state has priorities, allowing it to be used for several moves. Some of these moves have already been shown and explained in the fast fall rolling section, but are explored in more detail here. Crawl, turn, roll. By executing 2 crawl turns consecutively, then holding down and forward, Slugcat can roll from crouching position. This is possible because the first crawl turn raises Slugcat in the air slightly, giving it enough height to roll after the second crawl turn. Crawl turn, cancel, hop. While in the middle of a crawl turn, pressing up interrupts the turn by propelling Slugcat into the air while in the default crawl turn state. This is the first part of a crawl turn jump. Crawl turn jump. Press and jump immediately after a crawl turn cancels causes Slugcat to perform a jump while 1 tile off the ground. This gives 5 tiles of vertical height and exclusively allows for reaching pulls at this height. Climbing 5 tile high ledges and poles. Turn, stored, crawl turn, backflip. By turn, stored, crouching before beginning the crawl turn jump, Slugcat can backflip from the raised tile height. This does not give enough additional height over the crawl turn jump to be beneficial for reaching poles or ledges. Climbing 6 tile high ledges. This can be used to climb 6 tile high ledges. Note that backflipping in the opposite direction to the initial turn is necessary for Slugcat to reach the ledge in the upright position. Backflipping in the same direction as the initial turn causes Slugcat to reach the ledge upside down. Crawl turn, backflip, pole jump. The highest reaching known variant of backflip pole jumping. In order to perform this move, both the backflip and crawl turn must be performed in the direction of the original turn and towards the pole, hence the turnaround while crouching. This example covers a height of 10 tiles. Note, see backflip pole jump for the basic variant of this move. Compress, turn, crawl, turn, backflip. Backflipping from a crawl turn can also be achieved by initiating a quote-unquote compressed turn during an automatically initiated crawl turn. This is done by moving in one direction, initiating a crouch and quickly pressing inwards. This causes Slugcat to attempt to turn while crouching down, which allows for turn storage use. A crawl turn jump will use this turn as a backflip. Compress, turn, crawl, turn, roll. Slugcat can store this otherwise temporary turn by rolling mid-crawl turn rather than jumping. This works because the compressed turn, crawl turn raises Slugcat into the air, landing in a rollable state. Crawl turn, ledge drop. Slugcat enters a crouch/crawl state while pulling up onto ledges. Consequently, holding backwards causes Slugcat to turn. Timing this correctly correctly causes Slugcat to fall away from the ledge while still in the crawl turn state, leading to an accelerated rate of fall and the ability to roll on landing. This is possible with one tile high ledges for a similar reason. Ledge crawl turn jump. Holding back then tapping jump while climbing up a ledge in the default crawl turn state allows for a simpler crawl turn jump setup. This is useful for quickly reaching a ledge after climbing up the opposite side. With turn storage, this becomes a backflip similarly to another crawl turn backflips. No, holding back too early initiates a fast fall, so make sure the input is relatively late in the climb up as shown in the GIF below. Slugcat should mostly be on the ledge before pressing back. Quick crawl turns, there's a link, temporary Discord explanation. Jump boost. Jump boost is valuable in the game's code, which allows the player control over Slugcat's vertical air momentum by holding the jump button mid-air during some moves. Some moves set jump boost to 0 while jumping, jumping from poles, jumping from deer antlers, jumping while grounded and pressed against the wall, starting a side flip. These moves therefore also have a set jump height which cannot be varied by holding jump. Moves which set jump boost absolute 0 include jumping from a neutral position, jumping turn hopping, pole hopping, charge pouncing, backflipping includes slide flip bouncing, jumping on a creature body. The length of time the jump button is held while performing these moves affects the resultant height gained from them as shown below with regular jumps and backflips. Storing jump. Moves which set jump boost above 0 can also be interrupted under certain conditions to achieve jump storage, storing a jump boost value greater than 0 while in a neutral position, not in the air. Charge pounce. Jump storage can be gained from this move by quickly tapping and releasing jump when transitioning from standing to crouching, such that no jump is performed. This results in a stored jump boost of 6. As shown in the GIF below, jump boost is set to 8 and then depletes rapidly when jumping, overwriting the stored value 6 and removing the storage. It's currently raining while I'm recording this. Pretty ironic. Tunnel slide boost. A jump boost of 8 can be stored by slide pouncing such that the pounce is performed when Slugcat is inside a tunnel. This can be done in both horizontal and vertical tunnels. Jump interrogation. A jump boost can also be stored by jumping just before the start of a slope. The perfect timing, the slope fully interrupts the jump. Jump storage is also possible via jumping while under a creature body or slab ceiling. Keeping storage. Jump storage is lost when jump cat becomes airborne while jump is held. This rapidly decrements any stored jump to 0 within a few frames. Jump boost is also set to 0 instantly if jump is not held. Jump storage is also lost when a move sets jump boost to a specific value, overriding any stored jump. Using storage. There are methods to launch Slugcat into the air without initially affecting jump boost. Jump storage is always lost when mid-air. Methods can be combined with jump storage while in a neutral state to give Slugcat significantly higher upwards velocity. Tunnel slash pipe exit boost. Boost upwards out of a tunnel and hold jump as Slugcat becomes airborne. Unlike most jumps, boosting in a tunnel doesn't set the jump boost value, so storage can be easily made use of in that way. Instant pounce. An instant slide pounce also gives momentum without setting this value and so can have its height increased by jump boost storage. This gives the current highest known pounce when the stored value is 8. Jump stored vault. A 5-frame perfect input task vault was found which allowed for use of jump boost storage to reach 8 tiles in the air by throwing a rock, so Slugcat enters a state where it gets vertical momentum using jump boost storage before regaining 6 jump boosts also mid-air. Jump stored crawl turn vault. Explanation coming. Swimming. Spoiler warning. Content shown below is from an early mid-game area. If playing blind, we recommend that this section is avoided until swimming tips are needed. Boosting. Water boost. Press and jump underwater gives a speed boost but reduces breath. The amount of speed given reduces each time and more than a couple will quickly cause Slugcat to start drowning. Using boost to escape danger. Speed boosts are usually best saved for dangerous situations, e.g. escaping from salamanders. Fast horizontal water movement. Dipping under the surface and boosting once horizontally and slightly down, then resurfacing and repeating is an effective way to travel quickly through large surface bodies of water. This makes use of boosting using some breath but precedes most in cases of creature attacks. Buoyancy. While swimming, Slugcat has a constant upwards drift towards the surface of the water to swim underneath the surface, and consequently faster. Use swim strokes slash boost to swim slightly upwards, angle down slightly to maintain initial depth, and repeat. Counteracting upwards drift is important for swimming through underwater tunnels to avoid being trapped against the ceiling. Note, for swimming vertically, moving straight up makes the best use of natural buoyancy. Bubble fruit. Water nuts can also be used to increase buoyancy when activated. Wriggling alternated between up and down while swimming horizontally also increases swimming speed. This is important when navigating underwater tunnels. This is most effective on controller analog sticks. Water hopping. There's water hopping? Water hopping. When moving at a sufficient speed and by entering Slugcat's upright position with correct timing, landing on water will flip Slugcat's vertical speed, launching them back into the air. Throw boosting is not always required to reach this speed, but can be useful for extending the timing window for entering the upright position. Multiple throw boosts can be used to achieve multiple water hops in a row. Mushrooms can also be used to extend the timing window, which is also easier with Hunter's extra aerial speed. Combat. Throwing weapons, throw arcs, throwing rubble. Rubble follows this arc when thrown. Rubble damages causes creatures by 1 out of 100th the damage of a spear, and has a longer stun duration. When thrown, rocks travel through the air slightly more slowly than spears, and as such have a slightly shorter range. Throwing spears. Spears follow this arc when thrown. Spears will imbibe in walls 100% of the time within a 7-tile range. Spears will imbibe in walls 33% of the time between the 7 and 28 tile range. For Hunter, this tile range is increased to 35. Past a 25 tile range, spears will always rebound and drop to the floor to be picked up. Spears also will not imbibe on slopes or where a spear is already imbibed. Tossing items. Other items following this arc when tossed forwards. Items can also be thrown upwards by holding up when pressing throw, which can be useful for throwing items to land directly in front of Slugcat. Angling throws. The angle at which objects, spears, and rocks are thrown depends on Slugcat's momentum at the point of throwing. Throwing while moving down, either by crouching or falling, will give the object a lower arc, while throwing mid-jump will give the object a higher arc. As seen in the GIF below, the spear arc is different depending on Slugcat's upward or downward momentum. Rubble Spear Combo. Lizards have armored heads which protect them from most spear damage. To hurt them, Slugcat usually needs to spear them in their softer back. Rubble will flip lizards over when thrown at their heads. A spear can be thrown immediately after for a simple attack. Remember to keep the rubble in Slugcat's right hand to throw first. Note there are some extremely niche conditions under which a lizard will not flip when hit with rubble. These include the lizard having just climbed up onto a ledge and being hit with rubble when directly next to Slugcat, essentially touching. Pinning creatures to walls. Creatures can be pinned to walls with spears to immobilize them for some time. Spear Lock. On taking damage, lizards and some other creatures enter a stun state for a short amount of time. As lizards lose more health, the amount of stun per spear increases. This example GIF shows repeated rubble/spearing of a lizard. Note the increased stun duration with each spear. This can be used to repeatedly spear lizards by pressing grab and instantly throwing again multiple times. Spear Cooldown. Spears cannot be picked up immediately once thrown, preventing Slugcat from stun locking to death more resilient creatures with one spear. Double spearing. Spear cooldown can be circumvented with multiple spears, as the cooldown implies per spear, not for the player. This allows for more rapid stun locking and is useful for quickly incapacitating tough creatures. Throwing midair. Spears can be thrown while midair to catch lizards on poles. Hitting in front. Spears can hit lizards above the head when thrown from a specific distance. Note that this hits the body chunk behind the head and so does normal damage and stun. Crouch mouth spear. Spears that hit the lizard's mouth body part do 1.5 times damage and stun for much longer. Spears do not bounce off of lizard head armor when drifting downwards, -y velocity, and traveling horizontally. This can be achieved by throwing mid-crouch to angle the spear downwards. Slide spear. Basic technique. Throwing a spear or rock forwards mid-slide causes the object to bounce off the floor and travel much further horizontally. This allows spears to imbibe into walls much further away. Spears can be slide thrown from further away to hit targets. Slide spearing lizards. Slide spearing also imparts a downwards drift to thrown spears, which can be used to hit lizards in the mouth, dealing 1.5 times damage and stunning them for longer than usual. This allows for consistent stun locking with a single spear. Example video of spear sliding. Note that the spear must hit while still traveling downwards before ricocheting off the ground. The following GIF demonstrates the downwards velocity that slide spears have before bouncing. Slide spear pounce. Spears can be thrown before a pounce, limited applicability. Slide spear flip. It is also possible to throw a spear prior to slide flipping, requires precise timing. Extended slide spear. Finally, slide spearing is possible after an extended slide. Page 101, baby. Downwards/upwards throwing. Backflip into down throw. To throw downwards, hold down and throw mid backflip without holding any other buttons. If holding left or right, the object will be thrown in that direction instead. Spears thrown downward will become imbibed in the ground and can be climbed. Down throwing from storage. storage pole. You can use storage onto a pole to throw down from above a creature. Slide flipping to pass lizards. Slide flipping can be used to safely pass lizards without being caught. This works for lizards with high aggression. Down throwing from slide flips. You can also throw downwards mid-slide flip. Pinning creatures to floors. Down throwing spears can pin a creature to the ground. Combat showcasing spear sliding, and slide flipping, combat showcasing turn storage. Slide spearing into slopes. Slide spearing at a slope will cause the object thrown to travel upwards. Spears thrown upwards will become imbibed in the ceiling and can be climbed. This can also be used to pin creatures to ceilings if above a suitable slope for slide spearing. Creature strategy. Minor spoilers. Lizard tracking. Move safety / laziness. Lizards have differing levels of aggression depending on multiple factors, including lizard spawn variation and the game mode. Less aggressive lizards will have slower reactions and can be backflipped over, for instance, while more aggressive lizards will quickly turn and snap Slugcat out of the air if this is attempted. Backflipping is generally only recommended as a reasonably safe move for green lizards dealing with tongues. When grabbed by a lizard tongue, reaching the same height and throwing objects at the lizard is often effective. If not possible, getting close can cause it to snap and miss, especially if done correctly. Throwing at the same height as a white lizard's mouth has a chance to hit and is very effective when their tongue is out. Grace period. Bite lethality. Lizard bites have a chance to immediately kill Slugcat. It is possible for a short window after only being stunned by a lizard bite to pick up / throw a rock or spear, which can often hit the lizard and allow Slugcat to escape. Information on lizard bite lethality can be found at, and there's a website. Mass responses. When wearing a vulture mask, lizards will run from the player for 17.5 seconds, starting from when they first see Slugcat wearing the mask. After this timer has run down, the mask will no longer scare that lizard. This is extremely effective for passing through regions without trouble or playing as Hunter. King Vulture mask lasts longer for 30 seconds. Other cut content. Wall pouncing. By holding towards a wall and pressing jump at the moment of collision, while in the pounce state, Slugcat is able to launch in the opposite direction and gain height. Please note that this tech was removed in the 1.5 update 11th December 2017. That's pretty specific. A mod that re-adds wall pouncing to the current version of the game can be found here. This could be changed to scale otherwise unclimbable wide shafts. Trivia: Jor's stated reason for removal. Corner wall pouncing. Directly hitting a corner causes Slugcat to gain considerably more height from wall pouncing. As with regular wall pouncing, this can be changed. Slide wall pouncing. Even though we can't see it, corner wall pounces can also be done from slides. Parkour momentum backflip. Similarly to pull momentum, it is possible to get momentum up a small ledge via slide parkour to perform a mid-air jump. This move has not yet been found to be applicable in place of a crawl turn jump. Parkour slide backflipping. In this move, the member God appears to gain a ledge crawl turn backflip worth of height significantly early in the pull-up animation. We believe that this is just a very frame precise example of this move. Pole hop save. It should be possible to still grab the pole if a pole hop is missed by holding up from immediately after tapping jump until the next jump input. It has not yet been explored as regular pole hopping is consistent with practice. Backwards roll out of some pipes. Significantly for tunnels with one tile high exits, exiting backwards, holding forwards and down sometimes allows for rolls. This isn't consistent and depends on the tunnel. Examples include the top left tunnel exit in the refinery area map. Tunnel slide pounce. Starting a slide pounce over a tunnel showing the distance before pouncing currently has no applicable use. Credits. This guide was designed by Axel Little, Gwyn Nittum on Discord, and Laura Pigeon on Discord, with editing feedback from Rob and Iced. GIFs in this guide were made with screen to GIF, OBS, and Noboard. Our Noboard configuration plus download can be found pinned in hashtag meta and tag on the Discord. Credit also goes to Ga, posting a ton of amazing movement GIFs in early 2018, introduced fast pole climbing, backflip pole jumping, grounded wall hopping, and many more invaluable tips. As it says, messages can be searched on the Discord server. Katabi communicated a lot of interesting GIFs and information from the Chinese Rainbow community in early 2018, possibly led to Guy joining the Discord. Old Keenim, co-author of the original turn storage discoveries plus guide along with other moves, pole movements, sliding into ground pipes. Trash Typhoon, finding pole hopping in the 1.5 beta test. Turtle, finding turnaround pole grab leading to turn storage discoveries. Applebread, alright. Early player found a lot of tech and posted tutorials on YouTube. Henpamaz experimenting with movement, finding practical applications for instant slide pounces slash flips, general guide feedback. Slime_cube created the TOS tool for Rain World, experimenting with movement and finding practical applications for instant slide pounces slash flips. Dr. Sunshine for finding two tile hop poles, and in general, along with Ant-Man and Krog for experimentation and finding plenty of interesting applications for moves. Hoko, Zen, Seepeak, and Gutcher Berries for noticing moves we forgot to include. And many others for experimenting, discovering slash rediscovering and documenting movement tech online. If there's anyone missing here, or if you have any questions about contributions, please do contact us. We like to give as much credit as possible where due. There's a lot out there to discover. Procedural physics-based movement has some really interesting quirks, which can take hundreds of hours to find out. It's been a collective community effort to find, share, and document as much as possible, but it's always likely that there are undiscovered tricks and options still waiting to be found. If you notice any mistakes or having any suggestions, feel free to add and DM Gwen #9899axo or Laura #2871pine on Discord if you have any questions, or email gwencardiff@gmail.com or laurahannah44@gmail.com. You could also ping us in the #movement channel on Discord. We check there regularly. Happy hunting. So yeah, that was me reading the whole Rainbow Movement document, even though I did skip some parts like the GIF archive, the glossary. Even though at the end of the glossary, there was an update saying, we haven't said so explicitly yet, but we're no longer planning to add a creature section to this guide as it is large enough already and is consistently expanding. The creature section will require its own standalone guide given the breadth and depth of possible interactions. We may take this up in the future, otherwise it's open for the community. So there you have it. I fulfilled my promise. I nominate Scurry, Foco, Power Cynical, Brand Flakes, Curious Archive, Ivy Coon, Saint Fuki, North Lolo, Linko, Joe Style, Dash Zombies. Yeah, I know these people. To do the same thing if they're a true Rainbow fan. For me, I only did it out of boredom and concept purposes. All that being said, I'll be seeing you all later. And yeah, someday I'll come back to Rain World. Not today, not tomorrow, but it's gonna be someday. Maybe this year.